Okay, good morning. Okay, so good morning and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone watching our webinar, Online Privacy and the Open Web. My name is Alamira Alonto and I will be opening today's event. So this program is organized by the Office of MP Rasul Yapmit Mug Jr. in partnership with the Mozilla Philippines community. MP Ras would have been here with us today, but unfortunately, he also has a committee meeting at the moment, so he'll be watching us from Facebook Live. Hi, Sir MP. So, all right. So, we hope everyone is excited to learn today from our distinguished speaker, as the topic is very relevant. You know, we've had news reports of widespread scamming online. We've had reports of phishing. So many Filipinos have been victimized and had their personal data compromised online. So it's very good that we will learn what online privacy is and how we can navigate the open web. So I won't delay this any further. I'll introduce you to our speaker. So our speaker today is Mr. Robert Bob Reyes. So Bob is the founder and chief technology officer of Turfsite Web Services, a local web presence provider specializing in domain name registration, website hosting and development, and learning management systems. As a technologist and proponent of the open web, Bob is part of the global nonprofit organization on Mozilla, makers of the Firefox web browser. His name is inscribed in the Firefox Monument found in San Francisco, USA. His role at Mozilla includes the mentorship of both local and foreign Mozillians, as well as speaking at technical conferences here and abroad. He also led the local Mozilla community to launch a localized version of Firefox. Since he formally joined Mozilla under the Mozilla Reps program in 2011, he has been voted twice to sit at the Mozilla Reps Council, which is part of the organization's leadership. Currently, Bob writes for the Manila Bulletin as a tech news columnist and manages the grassroots football team San Ildefonso Parish Makati Football Club. Formerly, Bob was a university professor handling electronic commerce and web development courses. He also spent more than 16 years as an aviation professional. All right. Hi, Sir Bob.
Hi, good
Hi,
morning.
good
Thank you for
morning.
having
Good
Thank you
me.
for having me.
morning. You have the floor, po.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll just have to share my screen there. Can you see this one?
Not yet. Oh, yeah, there.
Okay,
There it is.
there. Okay, cool. How's my audio? Is it okay?
Yes, okay
Okay.
naman po.
Maraming salamat. Okay. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Thank you for having me on behalf of the Mozilla Philippines community and of Mozilla. It's our honor to be giving you this talk about online privacy and the open web. So my name is Bob Reyes. So as I was introduced, so I'm a Mozilla Reps mentor and a tech speaker. Since 2011, I am part of the Manila Bulletin Tech News as a columnist, and I've been using Firefox since version 1. So that's me. It was mentioned in my profile earlier that my name is included in the Firefox Monument in San Francisco. So if ever you will be traveling, so pagka pinayagan na tayo mag-travel ulit to San Francisco, that is something to look forward to. Just visit that place. There's a monument there. Hindi nyo mamimiss yun. And the names of people who had been part of Mozilla in one way or the other will be there. Okay? So I'll continue with my talk na. We're
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Okay, cool. Sige, maraming salamat. Give me something like 45 minutes to complete everything. If you have questions, we'll have a Q&A after. You can ask any question except math. Okay? No, I hate math. Okay, so there will be interactivity all throughout my talk. So practice tayo. So if you have a spare browser or if you have a mobile browser with you, a mobile phone, okay, you just have to go to menti.com and enter this 31862262. Or if you have a QR code scanner, just try to shoot this QR code here. So, unang tanong natin for today. So, all throughout my talk, I will have several questions. I need to know your answers. So, para sa mga nanonood. So, how are you today? So, this morning. So, medyo, kung inaanto ka pa, so medyo warm up tayo. So, how are you today? So, just go to menti.com and then enter the code 31862262. So, we will see what will be your answers. Okay, so I'll have to switch to my other screen here. Hold on. Toot. Okay, so how are we today? Sorry, I lost my. Okay, there. I'll be sharing my screen again. There you go. Okay, so there. So far, so we have two answers that they are awesome. One is answering good. Okay, so just go to menti.com and then enter the code 31862262. So I'll be giving something like 30 seconds more for people to participate. So check natin kung ano energy level ninyo for this morning. So I'll be talking about the open web and online privacy, and it is something that most people are aware of, hopefully, but they don't care, especially in the Philippines. So yun yung nakikita namin eh. So pag-usapan natin yan. So if you have questions, feel free to post them in the comment section of this live stream. Okay, 10 seconds more. So let's see, may mahabol pa kaya? Okay.
Baka mamaya. Still gaining.
Mamaya, sige, okay. So I'll continue with my presentation. So all throughout this presentation, may mga tanong akong ganun. Okay? Now, okay. Going back to my screen. Sige. Paki-share uli yung screen ko po. There. Okay. Awesome. So, let me introduce our organization. So, we are called Mozilla. For those who do not know what Mozilla is, so first thing is that we started with this browser. So, for the people of my generation, this is Netscape. For people who are pretty much younger now, okay? So, Netscape was a browser. It played a big role in the history of computing, particularly of the internet, because during this era, it was that time when Microsoft launched Windows 95. So kung hindi pa kayo pinapanganak noong around 95, 90s, okay? So I will be telling you history. And during that time, when Windows 95 was launched, hindi ka pwede mag-install ng ibang browser sa Windows 95. Yung Windows 95, may kasama siyang web browser, pangalan Internet Explorer. So that is the dilemma of Netscape, because Netscape as a company, as a startup, they make money by selling software. Okay? So yung mga browser dati hindi libre. Bibilin mo siya as a software na install mo sa computer mo. And then when Microsoft Windows 95 came out, it's for free. It's included in the Windows operating system. So it will hurt Netscape in such a way na, syempre, bakit ako bibili pa ng software kung meron ng kasamang web browser yung operating system na binili ko at naka-install sa aking computer. So they challenge Microsoft through the US government, and actually they won. So sabi ng US government, hindi pwede yung ginagawa ng Microsoft that time. Kailangan buksan nila yung operating system nila to accept other web browsers. So we are proud in such a way na siguro kung hindi nangyari yon, if you're using Windows now, we'll be forced to use whatever web browser they will introduce to us. Okay? So that is one. Then came a point in time wherein as a startup, you need to innovate, you need to pivot in such a way that syempre, negosyo yan eh. So, and syempre, yung market medyo kinakain na ng kalaban, mas marami silang pera kaysa sa Netscape that time. So what happened was, there was this idea from Netscape engineers of giving away the source code of Netscape to the world for free. hindi uso yon. So, parang pag kinikwento ko ngayon sa mga kabataan, so parang pumunta ka sa Jollibee or sa McDo, tapos pagbili mo ng burger, binigay nila yung recipe for their burger. And syempre, di ba, the tendency there is you will no longer go back to that store because you already have the recipe and you can easily recreate it at home. So, ganun yung idea ng pagbibigay ng source code that time. Hindi pa uso yung open source. Kakaunti pa lang, I think it's only Linux during that time who does that kind of thing. So we called that project the Mozilla project. So Mozilla.org was born. That was in 1998. And Firefox will not be known until 4 years from that time. Okay. So there's a project. It's called Mozilla.org. And it's just to give away the source code of Netscape Communicator. And from that day on, Mozilla has been a non-profit organization. Okay, so many people do not know that we are a non-profit organization. So when I tell it to you now, yung iba napapataas ng kilay because non-profit pala ang Mozilla. Yes, non-profit po kami. And as a non-profit, we have mission. Okay, and our mission can be summarized into 3 things. 1 is that we want to build a better internet. Later, I'll explain why. 2, we want to ensure that the internet will remain as a global public resource that is open and accessible to all. And lastly, we want to have an internet that truly puts people first so that individuals can shape their own experiences and they can feel empowered, safe, and independent while being online. So this is our mantra. So we are committed to you, your privacy, and the open web. And we are best known for Firefox, the web browser. Now, going on to my first talk, so about the open web, okay? Normally, I will have this as my example. So, thank goodness, this was the Social Security System website, something like 2019, okay? A few years back, okay? So, if there are people from the SSS tuning in, congratulations, because you are done with this phase. Their website no longer looks like this. So what is wrong with this? The website works, except that if you will pay attention closely, it says that for optimal viewing and functionality, that website requires Internet Explorer version 11. And this screenshot was taken in 2019. That is one. Second, I am using a Mac. An Apple computer, there's no Internet Explorer in Mac. So there is no way for me to access all of the functionalities of this website without having to go through a Windows computer. So this is not a good example of what the open web is. Okay? So ano ba yung open web? When we talk about the open web, it is something that encompasses technical concepts like open source and open standards. Okay? When you go to certain websites, some websites will require you to use a particular web browser. Now, that is not the open web. Okay? When you go to a website, be it you're using Firefox or not using Firefox, you should see the same website experience. Okay? So, yung itsura niya sa Firefox, saka sa hindi Firefox na web browser, it should be the same. Okay? That is one. Yung functionalities will not be limited to a particular browser alone. Okay? Common question sa akin ng mga kabataan, Sir Bob, bakit pag ang gamit namin Firefox, ang bagal ng YouTube? Pero pag ang gamit namin yung isang browser, mabilis. Well, sino ba gumawa ng YouTube? Sino may-ari ng YouTube? And they also create their own web browser. Of course, they will ensure that everything that they do will fly or will be faster on their own system. Okay? So that is one. Next, when we talk about the open web, we are also talking about democratic concepts like free expression and digital inclusion. Okay? In the Philippines, I should say, medyo swerte pa tayo kasi the people here, most people owns a smartphone at least, okay? Kung walang computer. And when we were introduced to the internet a few years back, it is truly the internet. It is the web, okay? In some countries, when you ask them what the web is, they will tell you Facebook. Everything is in Facebook. Okay, there are countries like that. Okay, and in Africa and in some parts of Middle Asia. Okay, Central Asia. Why? When the internet was introduced to them, they were faced with systems, with closed systems that everything must revolve around this particular social media. Okay. Outside of that social media, people will think that it's not no longer part of the web, no longer part of the internet. Okay. So may mga bata doon, when you ask them, what is the internet? They will only answer Facebook and everything inside Facebook. Okay. Which is not good. So when we talk about the open web, it is defined as a web by and for all of its users and not select gatekeepers or governments. Okay? When governments, when gatekeepers try to curtail your democracy online, that is not good. So let me tell you a story. Okay? If you are a Firefox fan, if you are a Mozilla fan, maybe you had seen this a few years back. Okay, so we had a video, pero I'll just be showing you some of the screenshots. Okay, so at the beginning of the internet in the Philippines, we had internet since 1994. High school pa ako noon. Okay, so people went connected and they felt safe and open. Okay, that was the internet. And as time go by, so people felt that this is a place for them to build dreams. There was the dot-com bubble. Maraming yumaman dahil sa internet. And Elon Musk is one. Okay? If you do not know, Elon Musk was one of the guys behind PayPal. Okay? And yeah, I just saw them send civilians earlier to space. So ganun na siya kayaman ngayon. It's because of the internet. Sa Pilipinas, marami yumaman dahil sa internet. Marami pa rin yayaman, hopefully. And just like any other system out there, be technical or not, the web needed some nurturing. Bakit? Towards the later part of the 1990s, papunta sa year 2000, okay, nagkaroon na ng mga pop-ups, okay, so dumami na yung mga viruses, so sinasabi meron ng mga virus sa web, walled gardens of content. When you go to a website, it will ask you if you want to install something, and the only option that you have is yes, okay, which is not good. Right now, when you go to certain websites, especially news websites, may mga paywall, okay? You will not be able to read the content unless you will sign up or buy subscriptions. So, feeling ng mga tao, is this the web that we really wanted? Okay? So parang nakaposes ka na doon sa upuan mo, wala kang ibang magawa kundi kung ano yung gustong ipagawa sa'yo nung website or nung mga companies. So we thought that the web could be better. Okay? So how? Okay, sorry. So this is a campaign that we had months ago. Okay, I did not made up this thing. Okay, so the internet, the web is FCK'd for a lot of reasons. So one, companies make money by tracking users and monetizing them to advertisers. I bet if you are using social media, how many times may pinag-uusapan kayo physically, okay, ng kasama nyo sa bahay or office mate or kaibigan nyo, and when you go back to your social media account, yung pinag-uusapan nyo ang laman ng lahat ng ads. Okay? I bet nangyari na sa inyo yun. I bet also that when you search something in a search engine, say if you're going to buy a new device and you were searching for the device specifications or pricing, the moment that you went back to your social media account, lahat ng feed, lahat ng ads is related to that particular device. What just happened there? Well, your data has been sold. Ganun kabilis. Okay? So it's monetizing. Okay? So search engines and social feeds are governed by algorithms that are biased in same ways as people who created them. Bakit sa Facebook, if you're using Facebook, hindi mo nakikita lahat ng friends mo? It's because of their algorithm. Okay? Pinapakita lang nila sa'yo kung ano yung gusto nilang makita mo. Okay? Remember, it's a marketing platform. Now, the proliferation of false news stories continue online, okay? And it is confusing people, especially now that we need to know which are factual and which are fake when it comes to the pandemic, okay? Ang daming fake news kahit sa pandemic. Last night I shared a news saying that that was from DOH. May mga nagpapakalat daw kasi that the vaccines for COVID-19 contains magnets and nanobots. No, it's not true. It's fake news. But people believe because of some YouTube and Facebook posts that these vaccines may actually contain those kinds of materials. No, that's fake news. So bakit marami naniniwala? It's because ganun yung kinocondition yung mindset ng mga tao. Okay? So the internet is the new kind of marketplace wherein yung selling ng data and yung selling ng attention ng tao never existed before. Okay? Sino dito nanonood pa ng TV? Ako personally, I only watch the news on TV and maybe sometimes pag lunchtime and dinner time. Okay? Pero, 'di ba? Most of the time you are in front of your computer screen. And the moment that you see an ad over the internet, it got your attention in one way or the other. And doon na kumikita ngayon yung mga advertisers na dati nagpe-place ng ad sa TV, sa radio, sa mga billboards, etc. Okay? So ngayon, yung marketplace for selling one's attention, especially selling one's data, is now online. So, mayroong kasabihan, if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. Okay? Social media accounts are free. Okay? We serve to different websites asking you to create an account, they're for free. Then, what is the product there? If it is for free, maybe you're the product. They're selling your information, they're selling your experiences online. Okay? Now, how do we Unfck the internet? We have this campaign. So this is the real name of the campaign that Mozilla had months ago. Unfck the internet. Okay? Hindi siya ma-censor na MTRCB. So, how do we do that? One, we need to unzuck. If you will notice, there is no official presence of Mozilla nor Firefox in Facebook. Okay? Mozilla Philippines is in Facebook. Okay? Why? A few years back, Mozilla, as a global company, as an organization, we pulled our presence out of Facebook. Okay, as to show them that we do not like what they're doing of selling the data, they're selling the experiences of people, okay, to other companies. So that is one. So let's unzuck it. What we did, we created, so for Filipinos, we cannot really get rid of Facebook, okay? Lahat ng, kahit nga mga schools, Facebook ang ginagamit minsan LMS, which is bad. So, kung hindi mo maiwasan to use Facebook, what we can suggest is that if you're using Firefox, you install the Firefox container extension. So, what will it do? The Firefox container extension will put a fence, a virtual fence around your tab where you use Facebook so that other websites will not be able to pry on your data. Okay? So, i-contain niya dun sa mismong tab kung nasan si Facebook, lahat lang nung ginagawa mo tungkol sa Facebook, hindi siya masishare sa ibang website. So, that is one. So, the less data that Facebook have on you, so the less data that they can give away to bad actors and advertisers. Next, we need to fight misinformation and fake news. So how? We acquired a company called Pocket. So, doon sa mga hindi nakakalam ko na yung Pocket, it is a social bookmarking website or service. If you're using Firefox, it is now included in Firefox. So, this is a bookmarking service that have human curators. Hindi siya automated. Okay? So, you can bookmark cool stuff. You can tag them and share it with your friends and people that you know or you do not know. Okay? So, at least yung nakikita mong items na dito sa Pocket, they are not suggested to you because of algorithms. in social media, when you go there, you only see what the social media websites want you to see. Okay, remember that. Next, so we know that the internet is not perfect and it is far from being perfect. So we ask people around the world on how the internet has kept them sane, hopeful, and connected, especially this year and since last year when the pandemic broke. Okay. So if you are on social media, try to search for hashtag Dear Internet and you will see, okay, what people have been saying about how they live, how they use the internet. And we also encourage you to write your own internet love letters using the Dear Internet hashtag. Okay? So, mabilis ba internet connection mo? Hindi ka makakonect for work from home or homeschooling, etc. And lastly, so this is like a pitch for us. So, as a nonprofit, we live by donation. So, we invite you to support the Mozilla Foundation or any foundation, any nonprofit that fights for the healthy internet. So if you want to donate to Mozilla, just go to mozilla.org. So that is for the open web. Okay. Now, I will go to the other side of my talk, which is about privacy. Okay. And before we begin, so I will ask you to go again to menti.com and enter the code 57220393. Okay? So ano tanong dyan? So when you go there, it will ask you, what is privacy to you? Okay? So it will ask you, what is privacy to you? So give 1 to 2 words. I want to hear from our audience, what is privacy to you? So let's see, I'll be giving you 1 minute to do this. Okay? So ano ba yung privacy to you? When you are asked or when you are faced of the word privacy, what it is to you. So I'm going to share my other screen. There you go. So let's see. So we go to menti.com and use the code 57220393. So someone said, when we talk about privacy, the first thing that comes into his or her mind is secured. What else? No invasion. Very good. Security. Okay. Important and safety. Awesome. Okay. 30 seconds more. So go to menti.com and then enter the code 57220393. So secured, security, no invasion, important and safety. That is what privacy to them is. So what else? 10 seconds. Finance. Okay. So privacy is related to finance. No leaks. Awesome. Okay. Sige, we'll go back to that later. Okay. So I'm going back to my slide deck. Okay, there. Pa-share po uli ng screen. There. Okay. Thank you. So now, so when we talk about privacy, we normally ask people, what is privacy? So marami nagsabi kanina. So meron nagsabi that the choice to keep my data. So it is important and safety, no leaks, free from public attention, security, secrets, finance, secured, no invasion, etc. So lahat po yan tama. Maraming salamat for sharing your answers. Now, 5 years ago, we at Mozilla produced this video. So I'm not going to play that video here. Pero at your free time, you can search sa YouTube, The Hidden Business of the Internet. Okay? So we created an experiment. So ano yung nasa experiment na yun? Yung nakita nyo dyan, yung, so may game show host doon sa lugar na yun. So naglagay ng signboard ang Mozilla that this was an experiment. For tourists, we will be providing a free accommodation. So yung bahay dyan sa gitna, yung room, that's the free accommodation. Pero nung simula, covered siya. Okay? Covered siya. The moment that they connected to the Wi-Fi, to the internet of that accommodation, bubukas yung lahat ng bintana and para silang nasa loob ng aquarium. And the game show host can see all of their information based on their social media, on what they posted online, etc. Okay? So, that is the hidden business of the internet. So, para tayong ganon. When you connect to the internet, and if you do not value your privacy, you will just like be someone inside an aquarium. Okay? So, later, pagka may time kayo, search for it. The Hidden Business of the Internet by Mozilla. So, yung privacy is the ability of us. So, this is the definition of privacy according to the dictionary. So, it is the ability of an individual or group to seclude themselves or information about themselves and thereby express themselves selectively. Okay? So, when we talk about boundaries and content of what is considered private, it may differ from cultures and individuals. Okay? What may be private to you may not be private to me. What may be private to me may not be private to you. So, depende. What may be private here in the Philippines may not be private in other parts of the world. What may be private in the States may not be private, considered private here in the Philippines. Okay? And those kinds of things. Okay? And we also know that privacy online may be different offline. Okay? Tingin mo you are a private person, you value privacy online, but offline you are not actually doing it. Okay? So maraming ganong cases. So let's see. Let's dig further. How much do you value your privacy? Okay? Do you leave your passwords in open spaces? I know before, nung hindi pa tayo work from home, may mga tao nag-iiwan ng password nila sa monitor ng computer. Nakasulat sa post-it. Okay? Are you one of those people? Are you one of those guys na nakasulat sa whiteboard yung password? Or kahit yung PIN code para sa pintuan? Okay? Do you leave your computers or devices unlocked? If you are staying alone, maybe no problem. But if you are in a public place or if you're sharing the workspace with other people, do you leave your computer or device unlocked, especially your mobile phone? Do you click on links na nakikita mo sa email at different websites that ask for personal information? Okay? Especially sa social media. May mga links, may mga posts that will ask you, when is your birthday? Or what year are you born? Okay? Or minsan may mga posts na if you were born on this year, then you are, say, an apple or something like that. Okay? Do you always protect your personal information? Are all of your devices using a unique and secured password or passcode? Okay? If you answered yes, okay, to the first three to the first four questions, there's a problem. Okay? If you answered yes to the first four questions, there's a problem. Okay? Yung sa fifth, dapat talaga sagot mo doon yes. Okay. So, at Mozilla, how do we treat privacy? So one, we believe that privacy is a fundamental thing to a healthy internet. So it is fundamental to a healthy internet. So that's why we built Firefox. Based on the source code of Netscape, Firefox and all of our products. Later, you will know what other products do we have. They were created to give people a choice and for people to have greater control over the information that they share online. Okay. So even for us as the makers of these products, the information that you share with us is very limited. Okay. And lastly, we strive to collect only what we need to improve Firefox for everyone. Okay. So when we talk about privacy later, can assure you how we create things. Privacy is always the first thing that comes to into our minds. So are we still safe online? So this is my last question for this session. So go to menti.com and enter the code 63068723 or just scan the QR code. So how do you feel online? Okay. So how do you feel online? So go to menti.com and then enter the code 63068723. So let's see, what are the answers? Okay po ba kayo dyan? Thank you for tuning in. Okay. So I'll be sharing, hold on, the answers. There you go. Okay. So how do you feel online? 100% said, oh, here, okay. So 80% said, I don't feel safe online. So 20% said, okay. So go back again. Sige, I'll be giving you 1 minute. So just go to menti.com, enter 6306-8723. Okay. So hintayin natin, sagot na iba. Okay. So many said that they do not feel safe online. Okay. Bakit kaya? Why don't you feel safe online? Maybe for an experience that they had something before. Okay,
Sir
or
Bob.
maybe the yes, hi.
Hello. Siguro yung
Hi.
sumagot I feel safe online, siya yung may-ari ng internet. Hindi ba?
Ano yun?
Yung may-ari
Depende. Siguro he or she is someone who is trained to be safe online, yeah. Maybe he or she is a cyber security practitioner, or maybe he or she is practicing how to be safe online. So we'll talk about that. How to be safe online. Okay. 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds. Maraming nagsasabi, I don't feel safe online. Okay? Medyo nakakakaba yun pagka ganon. So, bakit maraming nagsasabi that we don't feel safe online? Okay? And what can Mozilla do for you to become confident to say that you feel safe online? Okay? 10 seconds. So, talagang dami. 88% said that I don't feel safe online. Bakit kaya? Okay? Sige, I'll be leaving this. So continue continue to to answer. Okay, hold on. There you go. Okay, so that poll will still be open. Sagot lang kayo. Okay, take note of the code 6306-8723 at menti.com. So now, I'll be showing some articles that I wrote over these years. Okay, so sabi ng PayPal, yung sophisticated fraud is on the rise globally. And this was in 2020, okay? During the pandemic, okay? Yung sophisticated fraud is on the rise. When we started homeschooling, okay, it was faced with quite a backlash. Bakit? Technical woes for both the side of the student and of the teachers haunted our education system. Since most of us are still working from home, I've been working from home since 2014, okay? And masaya. Actually, hindi masaya ako dahil sa pandemic. Mas masaya ako nung lahat nag-work from home kasi yung mga ka-meeting ko, I don't need to go to their offices. So lahat kami online na lang. Before, I was working from home, pero when you go to meetings, you have to be on their offices in person. And I'm based in Makati. Alam niyo naman kung gaano ka-traffic dito. may meme, 'di ba? There's a meme that when you go to Makati, from Makati, it will take you 2 hours. Ganun.
Anymore, Sir Bob. You're the pioneer. You're not an outcast anymore.
Yeah. So parang when work from home became a norm, sabi ko sa mga kaibigan ko, welcome to my world. So been doing at least hindi na pumupunta, 'di ba, sa mga meetings. And as a press, I don't need to go to press cons in person anymore. So lahat ng press con online din. So I created a work from home tips and tricks. And then our friends at Data Privacy Commission have been working overtime, okay? Because of certain data breaches, and they keep on educating companies on how to properly retain data, okay? And how to collect, secure, and retain data of consumers. Ito yung last. Kaspersky even said that dating apps this year are technically safer compared to other apps. Okay? So, bakit kaya? we will try to analyze that. So how do we protect ourselves online? I'll be showing 6 tips. Okay, ito yung summary. So lock down your login, keep a clean machine, treat personal information like money. When in doubt, you have to throw it out. Share with care and own your online presence. So number 1, lock down your login. So how do we protect ourselves online? You need to lock down your login. Okay? Dahil sophisticated na yung mga cyber attacks ngayon, they say that having a username and a password is no longer enough. Okay? When you have a secured username and a password, more often than not, it is no longer enough. Okay? You will notice yung mga naglalabas ng smartphones ngayon, meron na silang biometrics. Okay? Pwede ng fingerprint, finger scan. Pwede rin face scan. Or merong ibang smartphone, alam ko, retina scan, yung mata ang i-scan nila, okay? So those are added security features, okay? Pero based on my experience, the biometrics for the finger scan works, the retina scan works, yung facial recognition, yung face scan, medyo 50-50 ako doon. Bakit? I tested it before, tinapatan ko ng ID ko yung smartphone ko, nag-open eh. Okay? So, na-recognize niya yung picture as me. Eh, paano kung may makakuha ng ID ko? So, depende siguro sa device, depende sa model, depende dun kung paano na in-implement yung ganong type ng security feature. Okay? Pero, hindi ko sabihin yung brand, pero sikat na brand. Tinapat ko yung picture ng ID ko, nag-open siya. Okay? So, medyo nakakatakot kung sa ibang unit, ay sa ibang tao mapunta yung device ko, tapos they have my physical ID. Next, we need to keep a clean machine. So, most of the time, when people ask us at Mozilla, bakit ang bagal ng Firefox namin? And when we try to analyze things, actually, hindi Firefox yung mabagal. Ang mabagal yung computer. It's probably because the computer has hindi updated na software. May antivirus pero hindi updated, and eventually marami ng virus or malware yung computer, especially if you're running a Windows machine. So that is the common thing now. And yung mga viruses and those malwares, they are more intelligent than before. They know that when your computer is infected with a malware or a virus, the first thing that you will do is go online and look for a solution. So anong ginagawa ng mga viruses and malware now? Dinidisable nila yung mga web browsers. Okay? So when you click on Firefox, for example, if you have Firefox on your machine and infected siya ng malware, yung malware lalong dumadami sa computer mo. Okay? Eventually, babagal yung computer mo. So ganun nangyayari. So if you have other web browsers installed, isang naman yung file name nila sa Windows machine eh. So ganun ka-intelligent na yung mga bad actors ngayon. So, kita nila, okay, once we infect this computer, sigurado yung taong to will go online to find a solution, i-disable natin yung browser niya. Okay? Kaya, merong mga humihingi ng tulong sa amin, and they will say that nothing is happening when I click on Firefox. And then they will install Firefox or any other browser, nothing is happening. It's because your computer is already infected by a malware, and the malware is preventing you from launching your browser para hindi mo siya malinis. So what is important is that if you are using, say, a Windows machine, you need to install a good antivirus. I know Windows comes with a free antivirus. Pwede na yon. Just make sure that the virus definition files are up to date. Hindi pwedeng sabihin na meron kang antivirus but it is not updated. It's like yung susi ng bahay nyo, iniwan mo sa gate. So, ganun lang mangyayari nun. Okay? So, it's not a good thing. So, keep all softwares on internet-connected devices like PCs, smartphones, and tablets up to date to reduce the risk of infection from malware. Next, right now, we need to treat our personal information like money. Diba? Sinasabi nga nila, data is the new oil. Okay? So, we need to value it, protect it. Okay? The information that you have, your personal information, may include yung purchase history mo, yung location mo, okay, yung preferences mo, the idea that websites know what your age is, what your gender is, and what your email address is, that's too valuable already. Okay? So you need to treat those data as money. Huwag mo siya basta-basta ipamimigay. Okay? So you need to ask yourself, when a website asks you about personal information, do I really need to share this information with them? Bakit yung ibang websites, yung mga ganong personal information ay required, while other websites hindi required? Okay? So you have to think. Okay? Kailangan ba malaman itong website na to kung anong birthday ko? Bakit kailangan buong birthday? Hindi ba pwedeng year of birth lang? Just for them to check if I am above 18 or below 18. Something like that. Okay? So we need to be wary. We need to be aware of these things. Okay? Lalo na yung sa mga social media, marami dyan, di ba, yung mga games, before you can play the game, they will ask you for your birthday, for your location. Worst, they will ask you permissions for them to access your data sa smartphone. So medyo nakakatakot yung mga ganun. Next, ito more on how to fight misinformation online. So when you are doubt, the best thing is to throw it out. Don't click. Don't ever attempt to click when you are in doubt, okay? May nagpadala sa'yo ng link asking you to reset your password. Hindi ka naman nag-request for a password reset, okay? You have to think first, bakit kaya? Okay? May nakatanggap ka ng link telling you that your credit card or your debit card has been blocked. You have to first, before you click on the link, may ganun ba akong debit card or may ganun akong credit card? Kung wala kang debit card or credit card sa bank ngayon, don't click on the link, okay? So please, kasi maraming tao, they click on the link and then they realize, I don't have an account on this bank. But it's too late. You already click on that link. Sabihin mo, Sir Bob, wala naman ako in-enter na personal information. That is what you thought, okay? The moment that you click, depende doon sa gumawa ng script, they can get your personal information using the cookies in your computer. Okay? If you're using a smartphone or a mobile device, they might install a malware on your device. Okay? So, hindi uso ang virus sa mga devices, pero malware, pwede kang magkaroon. Okay? So, minsan, di ba, when you go to different websites, bigla na lang may nagpa-pop up dun sa smartphone mo. And minsan, kahit hindi ka na nagbabrowse sa website na yon, magugulat ka na lang. May nagpa-pop up pa rin sa smartphone mo. Bakit? It's already installed in your smartphone. Okay? Maraming cases na nangyaring ganon. Also, when going online, we need to share with care. Most of the time, hawa-hawa kasi yan eh. When you get infected with a malware, some people will try to share things kasi online without validating kung ano ba yon. Lately, uso sa Facebook that you are being tagged by people that you do not know. And when you click on the link, there's a chance that you will also be infected by that malware. So, tingnan nyo muna. Some malwares will post automatically on your social media feeds without you knowing it. But if you are well aware, before you share other stuff or links, make sure that you check and verify them muna. Okay? So, think before posting about yourself and others online, especially on links that you do not know. Okay, so you consider what a post reveals, who might see it, and how it could be perceived now and in the future. Uso ang PhilSys, National ID. Do not post it online, okay? Do not post it online. It's not for bragging rights. Your PhilSys ID will soon contain so much information about you. Maybe now it contains basic information, but sooner or later, it will contain many information. And cyber attackers, they do not attack now. They collect information first before they attack. Okay? Sometimes the attack happens years after they collected information. So if yung information mo will not change. Okay? It's there and you have to protect it. So, and also we need to own our online presence. So you need to set privacy and security settings of websites, of social media, based on your comfort level. Ako, I specifically post some things publicly, some kept to my circle of friends. Okay, depende. If it is a news item, I will post it publicly. If it is something personal, especially that it will entail revealing personal information about me, maybe I'll just post it with my circle of friends, or maybe I will not post it at all online. Okay, those kinds of things. So parang ano yan eh, if you are traveling and you post that you are on the airport and you are traveling to this place, tapos naka-public, tapos yung pala fina-follow ka ng mga akyat bahay gang. So alam nila, uy, wala si Bob sa bahay niya. So it's time for us to raid that house, something like that. Okay? So hindi mo alam kung anong pwedeng mangyari. So in summary, okay? So how do we protect ourselves online? So we need to lock down your login. You need to keep a clean machine, okay? Antivirus, make sure that you scan your computer for malwares every now and then. You need to treat personal information like money. So, syempre, hindi siya pwedeng pakalat-kalat lang. So, when you are in doubt, do not click on any link, okay? Throw it out. Share with care and own your online presence. So, eto, last. Oftentimes, I'm asked, how to have a better password, okay? Or how do we treat passwords? I always say that we need to treat passwords seriously, okay? Kung ang password mo is password pa rin, yung word na password, utang na loob, pakipalitan yan, okay? Though alam ko, many websites will not allow you to use the password term as your password, okay? Pero yeah, may mga tao pa rin na ganun gumagamit. So, ito yung sinasabi ko lang. So, 3 things. 1, you need to treat your passwords like underwear. So you need to change them regularly. You never share them with anyone, okay? And you keep them off your desk. You don't show them to anyone, okay? You don't tell anyone that, hey, this is my password. Maybe, of course, kung gusto mong ibilin sa isang trusted person, okay? Pero may hangganan dapat 'yon. Hindi pwedeng forever yun din ang password mo. So you need to change your password regularly. You never share them with anyone unless necessary. And then you keep them off your desk. So, sabi nga, passwords are like your underwear. Okay? So, yan lang yung tatandaan nyo. Okay. So, I'm done with open web and privacy. I'll be showing you what things are we doing at Mozilla. So, these are the products that we have right now. Okay? Available to the Philippine market. So, Firefox, this circle logo is not replacing the Fox logo. So, nakita mo doon sa monument, may Fox logo. Ito yung circle na Firefox. This will not replace it. This is the logo of the Firefox family of products. So, when we talk about Firefox, maraming products yun. So, yung browser, yung Lockwise. So, I saw someone, si Meani Alonto. So, sabi niya, is Lockwise safe? Later, I'll answer that, okay? So we have Firefox Monitor and we have the 3 variants aside from the browser that is stable. So I'll deal with them one by one. So yung Firefox browser is yung Firefox. So if you want to have a browser that is secured and is created by non-profit and is open source, go to firefox.com to download it. Yung Firefox Lockwise is our password manager, identity manager. So if you want to have a secured repository of your usernames and passwords, you may use Firefox Lockwise. It runs on mobile or pwede siyang web-based. And lastly, yung Firefox Monitor, when you go to monitor.firefox.com, you may enter your email address and we will tell you if your email address has been part of any known breach. Kung nakasama ba siya sa breach ng kung anong website at kung kailan. Okay? So what does it mean? If you entered your email address in monitor.firefox.com and we tell you that your email address has been part of a breach in this website last 2019. Kung huli ka nagpalit ng password before that date, meaning the hackers may know your current password. So you need to change. Okay? So again, I will go back to the rule that you have to change your password regularly. How regularly? Ako personally, I change my password every 90 days. Okay? So medyo trabaho siya. Okay? Pero at least you feel more safe and secured online. Okay? And ano yung cycle ko pag nagpalit ako ng password? 5 times. So, pang 6 times saka lang ako pwedeng gumamit ng password ulit na nagamit ko na before. So, ma-hack man yung account or yung website kung nasaan yung account ko, I feel secured na, okay, so that's 5 times 90. It's 450 days bago niya mahulaan ulit kung ano yung password ko. And maybe by that time, I will have a new set of password. Okay? So, yun. So, ito yung Firefox family. So, we have the browser, we have Blackwise, and we have monitor. Yung nasa baba, yung tatlo na different colors ng Firefox. From the left, it's Firefox Nightly. So, it's the experimental build of Firefox. So, if you want to test what Firefox will look like, say, 2 browser versions from now, that is Firefox Nightly. So, as the name implies, it updates itself every night or here in the Philippines every morning. Okay? Hindi siya stable, experimental siya. So, it's not recommended for you to use on projects that are being deployed and anywhere. Okay? Yung nasa gitna, yung kulay blue, it's Firefox Developer Edition. So, what happens is that when you use Firefox Developer Edition, this is our version of Firefox intended for developers. It includes developer tools that you may or may not see on regular Firefox. And last, yung may nakalagay na beta, it's the beta version. So before we release a product, it goes to the beta version. So you can use Firefox now, and it will be the one who's going to be released weeks ahead of time. Okay? So yan yung tatlo. So when you go to firefox.com, you will get the orange one, the stable one. And if you want to check on the other variants, we have Nightly, we have Developer, and we have Beta. May tatanong, pwede bang i-install yung apat sa same computer na sabay-sabay? Yes, pwede yun. Okay? Pwede yun. So, for mobile, we also have Firefox for Android and Firefox for iOS. We also have Firefox Focus. It is the privacy by default browser for mobile. We are testing the soon-to-be-released version of Firefox Focus on Android and iOS this week. So in the coming weeks, you will have it. Hopefully by around October, you will see it on your devices if you want to install it. So this is the current version of Firefox. It's version 92. If you will notice, this particular window is in Tagalog. It's because in the Philippines, we are localizing Firefox and Firefox for Android to Tagalog, Hiligaynon, and Cebuano. Okay, so we need volunteers for those projects. So I myself, I don't speak natively of Cebuano and Hiligaynon. So if you know how to speak these languages, get in touch with us. We need volunteers. We will train you. There's an online training for it. And yeah, so what we are proud of is that when we localize, when we translate things at Mozilla, we use human beings, not machines. Ito, last, Firefox Relay. So this is a service. This is a free service that we have since a couple of years back. So what does it do? May mga websites, for you to test their services, they will ask you for your email address. So, kung hindi ka mag-enter ng email address mo, hindi nila papayagang matest mo yung service nila. So, dito papasok si Firefox Relay. So, when you sign up via relay.firefox.com, you can create forwarders, email forwarders. So, gagawin ka namin ng email address at relay.firefox.com. Yun ang pwede mong ibigay sa mga website na hindi mo pinagkakatiwalaan. Okay? So, yung email na ipapadala ng mga website doon sa relay email address mo will go to your real email address without them knowing what is your real email address. If you're done, if you don't want to use this service, di ba? Kasi what happens is ganito. May mga website, when you subscribe to them and give them to your email and give them your email address, the moment that you hit on the unsubscribe button, the more na email ang ipapadala nila sa'yo. Okay? May mga ganung website. Okay? The more na nag-unsubscribe ka, the more email na ipapadala nila sa'yo. So, para sa mga ganung type ng website, kung hindi nyo sila pinagkakatiwalaan, you may use relay.firefox.com. It's a free service. If you are no longer using a relay email, you can simply delete it from your account and wala ka na matatanggap na email do sa mga websites na pinaggamitan mo noon. This is a project that we have been going for quite some time. In the Philippines, we will be relaunching this soon. So Common Voice is our initiative to teach machines how real people speak. Okay. So this is more on the AI machine learning thing. Okay. So how to join Mozilla? So I still have 4 minutes. Okay. So we've been here in the Philippines for 12 years. September is our anniversary month. Okay. We need people to help us advocate free and open source software, online security, privacy through social media, online events, and participating in online in lawmaking procedures. Of course, I mentioned earlier that we are localizing Firefox to Tagalog, Cebuano, and Hiligaynon. And we are also creating our own learning management system for the learning space ng localization, privacy, web development, and ROS so that we can offer them to many people online for free. Right now, yung LMS namin has localization modules. So we are finishing privacy and maybe web development and ROS towards the end of this year. All you need to do is go to join.mozillaph.org, accomplish the form, and we'll get in touch with you. Ganun kasimple. So any background, whether you're a developer, a programmer, a non-techie, you're a student, anyone, welcome. More than welcome to join the community. Okay, so this is a volunteer movement. We have many volunteers in the Philippines and across the world. Okay, these are our social media touch points. So we are on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. And if you want to get in touch with us, feel free to shoot us an email via info@mozillaphilippines.org. Or if you want to chat with us, go to chat.mozilla.org. Just search for the Mozilla Philippines room. Or you can go to any room if you want to chat with other Mozillians all over the world. Our engineers are also there. So if you have questions, technical questions, you may ask them. Okay, feel free to do that. And with that, maraming salamat po at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Sir Bob. Am I clear?
Yes, okay, sure. So if you have questions, now is the time.
Hello everyone, assalamualaikum. I want to introduce myself kasi bigla kong sumingit eh. I'm the supervising PA of the Office of the MP Mitmog, Maleha Alim, and I want to invite you to share your questions or ask questions to Sir Bob. But we have already questions, Sir Bob, no? Yung kay Mamini Alonto, she asked about the Lockwise, how safe. Sabi mo, it is safe? And now we're asking, how safe is safe?
How safe is safe? It's basically encrypted. We do not see whatever passwords or usernames that you have there. It's only you who can see it. Okay, so that's how we do things at Mozilla.
Okay, another question from ayaw niya magpakilala, Sir Bob, no? Pero sabi niya, is there any significant feature Firefox have for the mobile versions? Since usually user-friendliness ng mobile browsers are issue, no? Issue yung, sabi niya, mobile friendliness ng mobile browsers. Madalas hindi efficient magtrabaho sa mobile devices. So do we have significant feature Firefox features for that?
Okay, for Firefox Mobile, say I'm an Android user. Okay, one is that it is private and secured because we are a non-profit. We are not a corporation. Unlike the other companies who make their own web browsers, they are corporations. So maybe they are capitalizing on your data for them to earn. So that is one. Second, of all the mobile browsers that I have used, Firefox is quite, syempre bias ako, pero I also test other stuff. Firefox is quite faster. Wait for Firefox Focus to the new version to be released. for Android and for iOS. We are testing it this week, and I'm pretty much impressed. It's the first time for me to see it also. So it's faster than the fastest Firefox on my Android right now. So yon. So pagdating naman dun sa UI, dun sa experience, mahirap talaga magtrabaho pagdating sa mobile. That's why, especially depende sa type ng trabaho eh. If it is something that will entail typing, mahirap sa mobile. So kailangan mo talaga ng physical keyboard or computer. Pero yung browser kasi is just an interface for you to be connected to different services. So depende sa website, depende dun sa service na paggagamitan ng browser.
Okay, another one, Sir Bob. It's about the Pocket. Can we go back to the Pocket extension ba tawag? No, sorry, I'm not really a tech person.
Okay, Pocket is a service.
Yeah.
Sorry. Pocket is a service that you can get or subscribe to. Just go to getpocket.com. Or if you're using Firefox, there will be a Pocket save to Pocket button in the awesome bar.
Will it become an extension dun sa browser?
By default, it's there. It's like an extension.
Okay. Yun ba yung filtering of news, Sir Bob? Because
Yeah, it's social bookmarking. So any user ng Firefox, they can bookmark any website.
okay. So how important, another question is how important the features of Mozilla, or how relevant or how helpful are the Mozilla features in government services?
Okay, so one is that we are advocating for openness and open source. So we know that it is quite a challenge, especially when government agencies are trying to side with commercial proprietary products. Okay, so medyo it's a cultural thing. The one example that we always give is Germany. In Germany, they have legislature, they have laws wherein the government should firstly use open source and free and open source software rather than buy software. So maybe if we can have something like that in the government, that is something that can be more awesome. Okay.
Okay, any more questions?
May nakita ako dito. So interesting yung translation into local languages.
Yes,
Are
yes.
there proposals to translate into more Philippine languages?
Yes.
We would love to. If you are someone who can build a team to translate to a particular language, and you know that people will use Firefox products localized into this language, let us know. Let us know.
What were the languages that you mentioned, Sir Bob, kanina? Yung for translation, Cebuano, Hiligaynon.
Right now, we have Tagalog, Cebuano, and Hiligaynon. Yun yung may mga ongoing projects.
You can add other dialects.
Yes. If there will be users, if there will be volunteers, kasi let's say I am a Tagalog speaker, so we need volunteers to help us translate into different languages. So if you can form a team, it's quite taxing kasi let's say for Firefox, you will need to translate something like 100,000 strings, not words. These are strings. So it can be as short as one word, it can be as long as one paragraph. So parang ganon.
So sa mga gustong magbuo ng team for their dialects like Maguindanao, Maranao, or any dialects in the region or even outside the region, you can form a team, no, Sir Bob?
Yes, I'll be sharing this screen there. Okay, so this is the contact. So you can email us info@mozillaphilippines.org or chat with us. Okay, or send us on social media. Kasi social media, just tell us that you are interested to start localization for a particular language. Let's talk it, and from there, let's see.
Yeah, I think there are many interested young people right here na gustong mag-volunteer, no? Let's cut for more questions. Let's go back to the no to posting national ID, Sir Bob. Paano daw kung the what they call that yung hindi naman
Blur.
they erase some
Okay.
info. Okay ba daw yun? Kasi minsan ginagawang katatawanan, ginagawang meme.
50-50 ako doon. 50-50. Bakit? Even if you blur information on a photo, given the right software, kaya kong i-unblur yun.
Okay.
Okay? So, hindi safe pa rin. Hindi pa rin safe. So, di ba, I think the PSA has a campaign saying that please do not post na lang. Please do not post na lang. To be sure, okay? Kasi kahit na i-blur mo yan, kahit na hindi third party, we don't know, maybe the social media site can unblur it from their side and sell your information pa rin. We do not know. Pero may mga cases na ganun.
Okay, there's a clarification here, Sir Bob, about the relay forwarder. Can you explain that more? I think medyo na-confuse lang yung ating viewer.
Okay. So with Firefox Relay, so let's say my email address is bob@bobreyes.com. Ayoko ibigay yung email address na bob@bobreyes.com sa isang website kasi hindi ako nagtitiwala. So I can use Firefox Relay. So I will log into relay.firefox.com. I will create a relay email. Yung relay email is like an email forwarder. So sasabihin ko dun sa account ko na please create a relay email. So gagawa siya ng email address na unique at relay.firefox.com. Yun ang ibibigay ko doon sa website. Lahat ng ipapadala nilang email doon, papasok sa mailbox ko sa bob@bobreyes.com without them knowing na yung totoong email address ko is bob@bobreyes.com. So ganun na yung ginagawa ng relay email. So email forwarder siya. Hindi ka pwede mag-send using that service. So one way lang siya, puro incoming.
For incoming. So, input, halimbawa may mag-a-ask na website about your email. So, you will input your forwarder, no? Yung .relay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, kung mag-generate yun, so punta ka lang sa relay.firefox.com or halimbawa, may isusumbong ka sa isang government institution, ayaw mo malaman nila kung sino ka. Gusto mo anonymous, pero you want to receive a particular email kung sasagot sila, you may use Firefox Relay.
Okay. Thank you
Anonymous.
So much. Anonymous.
Yes, anonymous ka. Yes.
Forwarder, Relay, Mozilla. Do you do orientation for business or for private entities, Sir Bob, about this topic?
Yeah, sure. Shoot us an email. Get in touch with us. Depende sa availability ng speaker. Especially if you need talks pagdating sa technicals, we can also do that.
So your topics would focus more on privacy, or do you have any other topics na baka gusto mong enumerate?
Pwede namin i-talk tungkol sa privacy, open web, web development, developer tools, and those stuff. We have we conducted sa Mozilla mismo online yung mga parang brown bag sessions tungkol sa Git, in different technologies. Sometimes we invite speakers from different technologies. Kahit namang anong technology, pwede kami mag-work eh. So, lalo na dito sa Pilipinas, the different tech communities, we talk to each other. We treat each other as friends.
Your family. Okay. Sir Bob, another question is about features iOS and Android. May kaibahan ba? May advantage and disadvantage ba pag itong yung software na ginagamit? Kasi I think meron in my experience din.
Okay, so depende sa platform yon. So I cannot speak for any other particular software, pero if it is let's say Firefox for Android and Firefox for iOS, the set of features will basically be the same. Pero syempre, it will depend do sa device. Kung mas mabilis yung device mo, mas maganda yung user experience na makukuha mo. Pero yung set of features will basically be the same.
Any more questions? Let's scour for more. Sir Bob,
Sige lang, go.
uh,
Basta wag lang math, ah. I hate
eh.
math questions. Hindi, joke lang.
Mas okay, Sir Bob, Apple or Windows? Ewan ko, nag-joke to.
Okay. Biased ako. I use Apple computers.
When you go back, you cannot. When you go Mac, you cannot go back. Okay.
Yes. I agree. I tried going back. I ended up buying another Mac. So,
Ano to? Apple supremacists?
hindi, ano yan? Ganito lang yan. Parang ano yan? I've been using Windows for since I learned how to use computers nung 1990s. And then I switched to Mac less than 10 years ago. Pero 'di ba yung eto, sa mga hindi naka Mac or Apple computers, if you hate malwares, if you hate viruses,
Yeah.
sorry, hindi namin na-experience yun.
Less than 10 years ago. Mas nauna ako sa'yo, Sir Bob. Mas
So
nauna lang.
yun, 'di ba? Ilang ang sasagot ko. If you hate viruses and malwares, ano yun? Hindi namin alam yun.
Nag-create lang ata ng division si questioner natin. Okay,
Personal answer ko na, hindi yun answer ng Mozilla.
personal answer ko din yun. Not related to MPRAS or whatsoever.
My kids are using Windows. My kids are using Windows. I use a Mac, pero yeah, parang depende sa gagamit yun. Kasi the kids, di ba, they want to play games and kakaunti ang game sa Mac.
Friendly ang Windows for games. Another one, very general yung question, Sir Bob, pero try to answer lang. Ano doon kinaiba ng virus sa malware?
Okay. Think of this as, yung virus is like an old term. So nung bata kami, virus yung tawag kasi these are programs specifically designed to create distraction. Okay? So medyo nag-evolve na siya. Minsan yung isang program, nagmumukha sila na legitimate na program, may be it on your computer or your smartphone. So minsan sa smartphone, legit na game yung itsura. Pero in the background, may ginagawa siyang kalokohan. So malware pala siya. So parang ganun yung itsura na ngayon. So hindi na uso yung viruses kasi yung virus is, yung intention niya talaga is just to distract a computer or a system. Yung mga malware ngayon, sometimes they are dressed or they appear as legitimate software, pero yung destructive payload nila is somewhere in the background, or sometimes they happen, yung distraction, as you go along. Okay? So, kaya tinawag na lang sila na malware. So, parang malformed software.
Okay. Sir Bob, thank you so much for being our speaker and for that invaluable presentation.
Maraming salamat din for having me. Thank you.
Sa tingin natin, malaking tulong yung ibahagi mo, Sir Bob, sa ating mga viewers ngayong araw. And for the security online na magagamit natin, syempre, our personal stuff, personal lives, and official and business transactions, lalo na rin sa mga taga-gobyerno. I think meron tayong mga viewers from the government, schools, and private entities, and they can use whatever information that you gave them. And I would like to ask also for this opportunity, Sir Bob, if we can get you as a speaker. Kasi MPRAS is the vice chair of the Committee on Science and Technology. And he's also the chairperson of one of its subcommittees. So baka pwedeng ma-invite ka or you can share your wisdom to the committee. For the
Sure. Okay. All the time. Yeah, just ping me anytime.
Okay. If to all our viewers, if you would like to know and get in touch or set up anything with Sir Bob, na post naman kanina yung mga information kung where sila makontak. But if you didn't catch that, you could contact our office through email and messages. We are always open naman to answer your questions. And then we will relay to Sir Bob kung gusto niyong mag-set up ng anything related to Mozilla or private privacy content. Again, to Sir Bob and to the Mozilla Community PH, it was a pleasure to have you with us. To all our viewers, thank you so much for listening in, and I hope you have learned something new and valuable. So this concludes the webinar po. Maraming salamat and see you in our next webinar. Bye!
Bye-bye. Maraming salamat.